Newton's third law, a real-world example. So to start off, Newton's third law, what does it mean? It states that every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. So, to put this in easier terms, a force is any push or pull on an object. So, any push or pull on an object has an equal push or pull in the opposite direction. Archery is a great real-world example of this law. So, as I shot my bow, I thought about Newton's third law. First, looking at the arrow, we can see Newton's third law by looking at all the forces. So, the force of gravity is definitely acting on the arrow, pushing downward. But this force of gravity has an equal and opposite reaction force made by the bow back up on the arrow, which is also called the normal force, pushing back, and is equal and opposite. So, if we then look at when I pull back the bow, I'm applying a force backwards in this direction. My hand is applying it onto the string, and then the string is applying an equal and opposite reaction force back on my hand in this direction. But if we look at the components of this reaction force, they would be right here on the string. So, the force I am pulling back on the bow is around 200 newtons because my bow has a 45-pound draw weight. So this force in this direction, equal and opposite, that the string is applying on my hand is also 200 newtons. So then, if we look at the arrow in the content of all these forces, we can see that my hand and the string is applying a backward force on the arrow, which the reaction force can be seen when I release the bow. So, right here, as I release the bow, a force equal and opposite makes the arrow fly forward. Then, right here, as the arrow hits the target, as we can see, the target's moving. So why is it moving? Well, as the arrow hits, the arrow is applying a force in that direction onto the target. But the target has an equal and opposite reaction force backward on the arrow, which makes the target move because it is absorbing the energy.